The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
And I'm here with Berne.
Hello.
Hello. So many questions. Where do I even start? So talk to us first of all. I'm sure both of you are extremely talented musicians in your own right. Briefly, can you sum up your musical journey until now, each of you?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Shall I go?
Go for it.
I'll go for it. This is like from the beginning.
She said briefly.
Briefly. Oh, okay.
But no, it's cool.
I've been playing the piano since I was 6. Luckily, we were with my family at a restaurant and I just wandered off. I went to the lady who was playing the piano. She was also singing and just stayed there. And
I love stories like this so
I
much.
know. And I've known this story all my life, but looking back at it now, it's like that moment was like really important in my life. And then I played the piano. And then I begged Mum to take me to singing lessons, but she wouldn't. She's like, no, focus on your singing and then on your piano. And then when you're 16, I think she said, I'll take you to singing lessons. And then she gave in when I was 14. And then I started with singing lessons. And then we met through school. We were in a band together back home, and that was really like quite successful. And then I moved over here. And continued making music here. I think that's brief.
That is very brief.
When I was in, I think, Form 1, which is probably
like
11-year-old, 12-year-old?
Year 7, sorry.
Year 7 in the UK.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, I had a favorite Italian band called Negro Maro. I have no idea what they're doing nowadays, but at the time they were my favorite band. And a friend of mine said, do you want to see them live? And I said, oh my gosh, yes. And he said, turn the camera on. And I turned the camera on via Skype or MSN. Something.
Whatever it was back in the day.
Something, that you could put your camera on. And anyway, he played the song and he sang it. So he performed on his guitar and sang the song. And I was like, oh my gosh, like he's my age and he can do this. And I want to be able to do this. And I got so much emotion out of it that I felt like I want to be able to give that emotion through music.
Wow.
So that was for me the turning point. Before that, I hadn't played any instrument. So then I started taking guitar lessons, and luckily my guitar teacher directed me towards a style that I really liked, which is like British alternative music, such as Interpol, Editors, Radiohead. So those were my influences when I was 15. And
I can hear a bit of that actually in the guitar.
That you mentioned for me, that was like, again, another discovery, because I thought all guitar sounds and all music was like Guns N' Roses and stuff like that. And I like it, but I didn't want to, play it. Yeah, I didn't want to perform it, if that makes sense. So then, as Deborah said, we were in a band together in Malta, and we did 2 albums there.
Wow.
Got a lot of airplay and radios and festivals and awards, which was really nice. And then we moved here, and now we started this project called Berne.
Why did you decide to move?
I wanted to further my studies. I did a master's here in music performance, and there wasn't that option back home. And also, Malta's quite small, so you can do great things there, but there's a limit. There's a limit.
A glass ceiling.
Yeah, of sorts. And then, I mean, not that it's easy there or easy here. It's never easy. But at least here, there was more opportunity to meet people, collaborate, and just in general, I think, be more active and do more things. So yeah.
Would you say the music industry was quite small out there?
Oh yeah, it's very it's pretty small.
So why did you decide to call it Berne?
We were looking for a name, and I wanted it to be in some way connected to me or us, and it's one of my given names at birth. Not Bernadette.
Okay.
So I shortened it.
Yeah, cool.
Just to have a little bit of a connection with the name, rather than go with a name that which would have been cool anyway. But this is what we
That's cool. I think the fact that you've shortened it means that it just sounds very cryptic, very experimental, and I think that's really cool. Yeah. So you are doing a live session, and I was particularly excited by the amount of gear that you guys put into the studio. Can you give us a brief breakdown of the equipment that it takes to basically make your sound?
This is your one.
This is my one.
This is for you.
well, today was also a sort of stripped down version of our sound.
Okay, cool.
So which one would you like to know?
Let's start with like the normal setup and then also the stripped back version. If that's right.
So we use synths live, electronic samples and triggers, and obviously guitar. I play guitar and Deborah plays the synths and she sings. And I play guitar through a lot of effects pedals, and I like to describe that as almost soundscaping the music that we write. That's the setup. Obviously, it's a lot of stuff to carry because they're big and bulky and heavy.
But they're also like quite magical things. So
I think it's.
I'm glad you have them.
So
yeah.
good.
Thanks.
And so you're here, and the sound that you're making is quite specific. Did you, when you set up the project, have that specific sound in mind, or were you guys just jamming and then it just came about?
I think it took a few months to develop.
I also think it's still developing.
Oh yeah, every day.
Yeah.
We get really excited when we have songwriting sessions or jam sessions, and then we're just surprised with what has just happened, because we never thought we'd be going there, and then we go there and it's like, oh, it still matches really well with the other songs we've got. So and I think it's
I think because of my influences in coming from, again, bands like the XX and Cigarettes After Sex and that sort of band, where the guitars are so scapy, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word. Like, it's just one note that just fills your soul with a passion.
Yeah.
So I really like to do that with our music, and I think even though we experiment with different sounds and different electronic synthesizers and stuff, then the basis of the sound is still the same. And that's why when we play stripped down versions, you can still experience that sound, yeah.
We move our arms, we move our legs, we move all of our bodies, escape the water in our heads, breaking waves that bring us closer. We are swimming, but we swim in different oceans. We are swimming, but we swim in different oceans. Oceans, 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 oceans. And the current will bring us round, 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 round. The current will bring us round, 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 round. We're miles apart from our departs, nowhere close to taking shelter. Inside our hearts, we know someday there will be movement. Aha, ah, aha, ah, ah, aha, breaking waves to bring us closer. We are swimming, but we swim in different oceans. We
Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
So you touched on it briefly a little bit earlier, but your songwriting process, how does that work? Talk us through that.
So I think it's largely, for me at least, like sitting at the piano and just playing some chords and mumbling some words that then turn into mumbling some sounds that then turn into real words. And then I always need that, hey, this is good, from him.
Yeah.
So normally I'm just thinking, oh, maybe not. But then we always, you always pitch in and say, that's good, like, let's develop it further. I think that's where the songs start, on the piano and with a melody. And then they just grow through when the guitars are added, when the production is added, and they take a different route, but also still really similar to the demo. Just a few weeks ago we were listening to the demo of our recent single, and I was like, my goodness, it's so similar. In essence it's still there, which I really love about the production process that we when we treat the songs, is that they don't lose the authenticity that they had at writing stage.
And when you complete that song, who's the first person you play it to?
Ooh.
Me.
I think we've got a couple of close friends that we like.
Yeah.
That we like to hear their opinion.
Yeah, and also people we work with as well.
Yes, so definitely Erin.
Oh,
Erin
yeah,
J, who's
that's
another artist.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Look her up. She's a very good friend of ours as well, and she's always the first one to
Yeah,
listen
that's
to.
true. That's true. Now that you
Listen
say
to our
that.
tracks. And then we've also got people that are friends, but we also work with, such as Gigi Piscitelli, for example.
Sound engineer.
He's a sound engineer,
mixing
producer,
and mastering
does
engineer
everything.
Extraordinaire.
And we go to him and we go, please
Help us out.
Yeah, or
Or
hear
just
it.
what do
What do you
you
think?
Yeah.
And then he will always have constructive feedback, and we'll always take that on board. And the song just takes its own journey,
Yeah, I this song that we just released. I remember sending it to my family to listen to, because I know that the values that the song talks about matches their values as well. So I remember doing that. But yeah, I think
I think those are the
Erin
main
and
ones,
Gigi.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we self-produce songs, it's sort of you always get to a point where now you need someone else to hear it, and A, to give you feedback and make the song better from a production or mixing perspective, and B, to also just hear it and tell me what you think, because we've heard it so many times that we obviously love it now, but we're biased.
Yeah.
So you always need fresh ears.
Now, we saw you for the first time live at Tobacco Dock, and it was amazing. And I have to admit, when we saw you guys, one, I was totally new to the concept of your sound, but I was also totally new to the concept of actually having an audience where you recorded the music. The whole concept in itself was wow, what's going on here? Can you talk us through how that works and what your involvement is with it?
Yeah, so the Rattle is a community of artists and change makers in music through tech, and it's an amazing collective where everybody comes together with the same kind of goal of making a change in the industry and doing things differently, essentially. So yes, we joined the Rattle in 2018. Yeah, and it's changed things for us, and it helped this project Berne grow and just even dream of things we never dreamed before. It's a space with the studios as well, and there's the live room, which is it's a performance space, it's a rehearsal space, a recording space. So that is where we recorded some parts of our songs, but also recorded the music video for our first single, Oceans, which is where we had our release party as well. So so it's been great to be a part of a community, because being in music can be quite lonely, through experience here and also back home. it can be like quite daunting, and like, what do you do next? How shall I tackle this problem, or how do I make my ideas, a reality? And
are you able to give each other advice as well?
Yeah, and to have that
100%,
support, and there's mentors
So cool.
as well there, and the core team there is so like amazing to work with, and they challenge you, and for you to like progress your ideas, and they continue challenging you, and then they give you the support you need, and it's been a like change like maker.
Yeah,
turning
100%.
point.
And it just feels that you're not working on this on your own.
Yeah.
And when you're stuck on whatever thing it is, be it music, so actual music, or be it sort of the business side of the music, you can speak to anyone there, and they would ask 1 or 2 questions, and you go back home and start thinking for the rest of the week, and you go, I never thought about that, and then it just unblocks you. And yeah, it's a new concept in music, but it's great. And if you haven't heard of it, then check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
It's great. And you've just released a brand new single.
Yes.
What's it called?
To the Lions.
And what's it about?
So To the Lions is a song. I was like, it's a food.
It's a new dish at Bernes restaurant.
It's
Amazing.
a song about betrayal, and it takes the perspective of a farmed animal. So that's what the song is about. It was inspired by a book I was reading called Eating Animals by Jonathan Safran Foer, which takes the reader on a journey while he finds out where the food that we have on our plate comes from. It's a really good book for anyone who wants to look into that side of things. It's such a great book, and I had to take pauses while reading it because it was so
Intense.
it was so intense. And in one of the breaks, the lyrics for To the Lions like came and just didn't leave, and I'm so glad for that. It just makes our hope from this song is to make people think about the choices of the everyday choices that have repercussions on our planet, and how very like small changes can help make the planet like a better place, essentially.
Save me, save me. Save me, save me. I'm dying slowly and you won't even notice, because you're sleeping instead of dreaming with me. Save me, save me, save me from your glory. To the lions you've been feeding me. I'm underwater making waves that keep moving, because you're running after not with me. Cave in, cave in, cave into my freedom. With the lions you've been sharing me. I'm looking closely to see someone familiar, because you're perpetrating against me. Break me, break me, break me without reason. For the lions you're preparing me. I'm falling down and you won't throw me a lifeline, because you're turning a blind eye over me. Wake me, wake me, wake me from this fear of the lions feasting on their kill. Throw me a lifeline, line. Throw me 2 lifelines.
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
There's a common theme here because your previous single, Oceans, also had a similar theme about the planet and about climate change, etc.
Yes.
It's obviously something that you guys feel extremely passionate about.
Yeah.
Was the idea for creating Berne with that in mind, that there would almost be a running theme, or is it almost like a coincidence because there is so much passion there that the story is there, if you see what I mean?
Yeah, I think when it clicked, when that light bulb moment happened, when we decided to marry almost the two sides of us, because in our lives we are very environmentally aware and socially aware as well, and then of course we're passionate about the music. It's our medium, it's how we express ourselves. And when the moment happened, when we were like, that's what we need to do, it's quite magical.
Now it's a bit obvious, but it just happened that we used to do music and also just live our own sort of environmental conscious lifestyle, I would say. Separately, and as Deborah said earlier, when she sits at the piano and starts off writing a song, the words that come to mouth, or like the things that she says, and like the first lyrics or the first sort of meanings of the song are always related to this because we feel so passionate about. So it just happened, and then we just realized, well, why not use this as our mission, use music as our medium, and then it just comes so easy and just natural now.
Yeah, so
I find that really interesting. So I believe that music unites people. So if people can unite over care for the planet and, like you said, like make those conscious decisions, like that's really important, I think.
Yeah.
So plans for the year ahead. 2020 is a pretty big one for you. You guys have got loads of exciting stuff happening. Yes. What can you tell us and what can't you tell us? Well, I guess you can't tell us what you can't tell us, but you know what I mean.
I don't think there's many secrets, but there will be lots of music coming out. We're really excited about it. Oceans last year was the first one for us, and it set us on a path, and we're going to be releasing lots of music. We also like releasing the music videos to the songs as well. We find that quite an interesting process.
Are they fun to make?
They are, but also...
They are.
Yeah, quite scary in ways, because it's this moment will be there forever. You cannot change it, because of course we can't work. We work on a day's shoot, so but they're fun.
Yeah.
Fun and funny, but so lots of songs, lots of music videos, and more I guess raising awareness around our mission. If I guess we can create a small change in people's lives, or inspire people to look into making these small changes, I'm sure will make things happen together.
We've got plans on how to do that. That's what we can say now. But
probably because we're still figuring it out. But we will get there.
I look forward to seeing or hearing those plans. Jan, we heard your influences, but we didn't hear much about Deborah's. Deborah, who has inspired you, and what kind of music are you into?
Major inspiration for starting off the singing and playing the piano together was Regina Spektor.
Amazing.
Love her work, love the way she uses the instrument and her voice and tells stories. So that was a big influence for me. So it's there somewhere. Maybe it does still come out through the singing and the playing. But people I listen to now are quite small, successful in their own way, but small artists like Adna, who is based in Germany, Soli in Iceland. So I listen to lots of it's very almost cryptic and mysterious and dark. But fun fact for you, I religiously, and I don't know how this started last year, I've been doing it for a year, listen to Enya every single day.
That's amazing.
And somebody told us that when they heard our single, told us randomly it reminds me of Enya. Oh my goodness.
It's subconsciously happening now. You listen
to
it
every
day.
I didn't think I was, but then last year a friend of mine talked about her, and I was like, oh my goodness, Enya! Like I'd forgotten about her, and I just play it like every single night.
Wow,
So
the
funny.
same song as well.
I just it just starts from the
It
top,
shuffles.
so yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes on and on. Anything else? What do I?
I think obviously Tom Smith as well from Editors. You like
I love the music.
him and how he sings, and
But of course, like
it doesn't come
quite
through, but it's
different
still your
because-
inspiration. It's still part of the music in your library, I would say.
yeah, caught off guard. Can't think.
And obviously you guys work quite closely together, and there's bound to be stuff that sometimes maybe you create that you're not excited by, or sometimes you write that you're not excited by. Like, how does that conversation go? Like, are you guys able to be really frank with each other?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a bit too much.
Yeah.
A little bit too
Yeah.
much. He spent like a day working on a track some weeks ago, and I was like, oh my, I didn't like it.
Is this at home? Like, do you...
Yeah, we have
Okay.
a home studio at
Yeah.
home. So I produce and do the work from home. But yeah, I think that was
That
a
was
good
it.
example, I would say. Well, I had to sort of think out of the box and just try something, and I
Yeah.
tried something. And obviously, again, after a day of listening to it, I got used to it. So
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
it was like,
A funny
this is
thing.
definitely going to be on a next single or something. And then, to be fair, I asked her to listen to it after, not a bad day, but a long day.
Yeah.
And I think that obviously also impacted
Yeah.
what she
Yeah.
took out of it. That's my excuse. But she listened to it, and I think she was like,
I hated it.
we ca-
The
we-
worst thing is it's grown on me now,
That's so funny.
see what I mean?
and
It's grown
and I'm
on her.
liking it, which is, I'm like, oh, why am I liking like?
And we're playing it live. So
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
that's because it's a good one, it's growing on you.
Yeah, it is, but we'll have to see.
Oh. And if people want to find out more about you, where can they go? What can they do?
So a good place to start would be the website berneofficial.com. That's BERNE. And then I guess Instagram and Facebook are the ones that we use the most. At Sounds Like Berne on Instagram, and facebook.com/Sounds Like Berne on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that's where we
Yeah.
do most of our stuff.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
us.
having us. Really excited.
And hopefully we'll catch you at a gig really soon.
Yeah.
Definitely.